Welcome to a new edition of Chelsea SW6 Transfer Rumours, and good to speak to you guys. It's been a little while. As I said, I wasn't too clever, I wasn't feeling particularly great, but I'm back fighting fit now and really looking forward to Sunday, of course, because I'll be going to the game at Reading, and Dave will be coming. We'll be travelling up together for that one, so check that one out on the way down, guys. We'll be putting a few videos together before, during and obviously after the match. Okay, quite a lot to get through. Start off with the first news that's dominating all the headlines. Wilfried Zaha. Now, he's, as we all know, been a player that's been massively linked with Arsenal. So it seems we're looking to hijack the deal. 4 bids Arsenal put in for this player, but the valuations between the two clubs are quite vast, very different. Crystal Palace valuing the player around £80 million, which I think is probably about right, really, considering today's market. He's still a young player, 26 years of age, but he's a player that we fancy. And although we can't do any business, as we know, over the next 2 transfer windows, it seems that there's nothing stopping us putting together or planning towards future deals. And it seems that we could be in a position of strength because we have a player that they're interested in. And it might possibly be that at the end of next season, or maybe we could loan him out. I don't know what Chelsea have got in mind in this one, but Michy Batshuayi is a player that they're very, very interested in taking back to Selhurst Park, and perhaps maybe a player cash type deal would be much, much more suitable, particularly with the valuation not being met by Arsenal. So watch this space, guys. Maybe there's a future deal there to be had. How do you feel about that one? Is Wilfried Zaha a player you'd like to see at Stamford Bridge? I think he's fantastic, I really do. We know he can play down the flanks as well, and he's always, as I say, played well against us. But let me know what you think about that guy. As I say, 26 years of age. All right, we can't make any movements in terms of this transfer window and the next, but it's a player that we could play a massive part in which case Palace could maybe like batten down the hatches, keep him, and look towards doing a deal with Chelsea at the start of next season. What do you think about that one, guys? Okay, other news, and Willian, it seems, although not confirmed, putting pen to paper for a contract extension. The Evening Standard are going with that one, saying that a deal will be done and it will take Willian up to the year 2021. 2016 was when he signed his last contract, so it'll be adding an additional year, and it's something that Chelsea haven't done down the past, but of course these are difficult or different times for the club, especially with the transfer embargo. But it certainly seems that he's a player we're looking to keep. As we know, Paris Saint-Germain and Manchester United, those links are consistently there, they never seem to go away. But he's definitely one where I feel we should make secure, because 30 is not old, let's be honest. I know we have this policy, but it's not old. We know he's a great player, and it could definitely be a massive part in Frank Lampard's squad for the coming season. Other news, guys, and Everton, they have pretty much resigned themselves to the fact that they're going to be losing Kurt Zouma and are looking for alternative replacements. As we all know, they've brought in Fabian Delph to the club, but what they're also saying is they're rather interested in Timmy Bakayoko. As we know, Bakayoko's been linked with PSG and obviously going back to Milan, but it seems Chelsea are open to offers for Bakayoko. We've certainly one that maybe Frank's had a look at and has decided that we've got cover there, and indeed we have, because we can also use Louise as a third, with Danny Drinkwater fourth, player that can play in that holding mid type position, Juninho, and obviously N'Golo Kante. And it seems that Bakayoko is a possibility to be leaving, and Everton are definitely one of those now that have put their feelers out, and it's a possibility that he could be heading to Merseyside. But of course, the good news is that Kurt Zouma, it seems, is going to be staying at Stamford Bridge. News on a positive front, and Kennedy has come out and said that he's really looking forward to this season. He's really enjoying his time working with Frank Lampard, and obviously he's been on all the tour games so far, and he has this dream that he secures down a position at Chelsea next season, and that everything works out fantastically well for him. So he's definitely happy to stay, and he's certainly making those feelings known. Other news, Tammy Abraham has also tweeted out that he'll be giving it all he can this year for Chelsea. And I have to say, looking at his body language as he left the field and his interviews after the game against Barcelona, I guess because he scored the goal, but he just seemed so happy, so elated with everything. Just can't believe, this is happening, if you like. Well, you need to believe it, because this is your opportunity and you know it. And I just get such a positive vibe from this player. I really, really do. But when a player feels the need to put out something like that, and let's be honest, there's nothing bad about that. It's just pure positivity, and that's fantastic news as far as I'm concerned. Other news, and Pedro's goal last season against Slavia Prague has been nominated as one of the UEFA goals of the season. I don't know if you remember that one, guys. It was a bit of a team move, little flick from Aspie, and then Pedro went on and just dinked it over the keeper. Lovely goal, superb goal. Whether it'll win or not, I'm not so sure. I think there's better ones in there, if I'm being totally honest. But nevertheless, it's nice to see one of our players involved. So well done, Pedro. Other news regarding the players and captain, Cesar Azpilicueta, is saying that the team is very much now close to all the levels expected from Frank Lampard. He says he's been 7 years at the club, seen various managers come and go, lots of managerial changes, but he has to say that with the transfer ban, this is something completely and utterly different, and everyone is determined to give it 100% and make a real success of this and give it everything. It's like they've all come together, they're all buying into Frank's philosophy, and it seems there's a real great camaraderie between them all, and again, it's lovely to hear things like that. Other news, and Queen's Park Rangers are interested in Todd Kane. He's a free agent, of course, because he's turned down the offers to stay at Chelsea, although he's been on loan at 8 different clubs. So perhaps he's never going to make it at Chelsea. With the greatest of respect, he's 25 years of age now. But it seems that Queen's Park Rangers are eyeing up him, and watch this space with regards to that one, guys. Other news, and Eden Hazard is the face on FIFA 20. His face is on the front of the box, and well done to Eden Hazard. As I say, when you get to that level and you're on the front of that, you're doing something right for sure. But he's put out tremendous praise for Christian Pulisic, saying that he really looks some player, and he feels that he could be some real superstar for them, and definitely a fantastic player in the future. But he also goes on to say, once again, more praise, and you've got to say he's an absolute class, he's Hazard, that he's at the right club, he's at one of the biggest clubs in the world, and for that reason, basically he can't fail. And you have to say, once again, nice words from he's in total class. Well done, mate. Other news, and Casey Palmer, it seems Bristol City are looking now to hijack the deal from Swansea. Swansea looking to take Casey out on loan for a year. The player wants something more permanent, and it seems that Bristol City are prepared to do that. £3.5 million is the valuation set by Chelsea, and it looks as though Casey could be heading towards Ashton Gate, unless, of course, something changes with regards to Swansea. But good luck to Casey Palmer if that's the case. Other news, and Danny Drinkwater, a player I think who's been rather overlooked. He doesn't ever seem to complain. He's never really in the first team, and as I say, he's there, and he put out a really good tweet actually with the recent heat wave that's been happening over here. It was the day before yesterday. It was 100 degrees. Madness, absolute madness. You could hardly breathe. It was so hot. But he put out a lovely tweet using his name, of course, and it was actually something he put out on Instagram, sorry, and with 575,000 people that follow him, he got 50,000 likes by using his name, saying that to drink more water, keep yourself well hydrated because you need to in this heat. It's absolutely shocking, you know, how much water you do lose and how much you need to replenish your body. So make sure you drink more water out there, guys. Okay then, Reading then on Sunday, 3 p.m. If you're going down there, I would say I'll be there. Sure to say hello. Be nice to see you. News with regards to it and a possible team put together, albeit that it is a bit speculative. But what we do know is that the Chelsea squad, returned back on Wednesday, and they were instantly given 2 days off, 2 days rest. We can understand that they've been away from their family, etc. But what we do know, of course, is N'Golo Kante returned earlier with regards to his knee injury. However, it's not as bad as what it was first thought. And the great news is he's expected to play, or at least for it to all be sorted out by the time of the start of the season, which of course is away to Manchester United. And of course, a couple of days later, the game in Turkey against Liverpool in the UEFA Super Cup. So fantastic news there. But of course, he's not going to be at the Majeski on Sunday. Reece James, obviously absent because of his ankle issues, which he picked up for the England under-20s away in Toulon. He's undergone surgery 2 weeks ago and everything seems tickety-boo there. Although Crystal Palace shown a bit of interest there, I think, with Reece James. What they're saying is, will he go out on loan? Will he stay? Subject to whether Zappacosta can get some kind of loan deal. I think that's what Frank's looking for. He's maybe perhaps looking to keep Reece James and then Zappacosta maybe go out on loan. But as we all know, in terms of the first team, Cesar Azpilicueta has that position pretty much nailed down. But obviously, James won't be playing. Loftus-Cheek, he continues to get stronger, but he won't be there either. Including that is Callum Hudson-Odoi and Antonio Rudiger, albeit that it's all positive news. Things are going rather well on that score. But of course, they won't be playing. But the expected Chelsea lineup is Kepa in goal, Cesar Azpilicueta, Andreas Christensen, Kurt Zuma, Emerson, Juninho, who's loving his new role and purring with superlatives about the new regime. Kubacek, who seems to have a new lease of life, certainly looked really, really good in the last game. Pedro, Mason Mount, who seems to be securing that sort of Ericsson role. I don't know why I say that, but you know what I'm saying. He just seems to have nailed that place down, like, you know, just no messing is in the first team. Pulisic, the American whiz-kid, and Olivier Giroud. But there you go, guys. What are you expecting from us on Sunday? Another good, solid performance. Do you think that's pretty much bang on with regards to the team? What's your feelings on Willian with the extension? What's your feelings about Wilfried Zaha? Is he a player that you'd like to perhaps see play with Chelsea? And do you feel that's a good move on our part with regards to using Michy Batshuayi as bait? And you know, what's your general feeling and your thought process now? You know, there was a little bit of negativity after that defeat. And then, of course, it was a little bit over the top with regards to the plaudits by beating Barcelona. But, you know, it's pre-season. We've said that all along. Results aren't really that important. It's how we're getting on with regards to fitness and, of course, the overall tactical and the pressing game that Frank's looking for, that, you know, and he's saying, you know, we're getting better every game and they're doing exactly what they're working on in training, and they're doing exactly everything as instructed. So that's great news. Thanks once again, guys, for watching, and if you're watching for the first time, please press the subscribe button. The target is to hit 10,000. That'd be absolutely massive. If you haven't checked us out yet, Check us out on Chelsea SW6 Facebook. 86,000 people that are on that group. It's a flourishing group, so if you're not part of that, then please do get involved. And as always, thank you for supporting Chelsea SW6. Keep the blue flag flying high. I'll speak to you soon, and if you're going to Reading, be sure to say hello. Thanks.